I'm Dirk Bornis. This is part of the Mid-Level Boss channel video. So, hockey. It's a sport. People make video games based on this sport. And we are looking at the early 3D hockey games for the PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn, and Nintendo 64. Wayne, I'm sorry for all the copyright notices you may get in this video. For the Mid-Level Boss channel, I'm apologizing now, but these songs are just too good, okay? Okay? Alright. That song is so bad, it works. Give them a break. They were excited with this game and the launch of the Sega Saturn. They wanted to come out with a bang. At first glance, this looks boring and lame, but I do like the 2D sprite models on the 3D space. They took some time to carefully map out the buttons. It's very intuitive with the controls, okay? I don't quite agree with the camera options here. I really don't like I can't mix the crowd audio. The sound effects, the in-game music. Not a game you want to play with the volume too loud. Just tone it down and play some music behind it. That's what I do. I don't want to be playing a single hockey game for 20 minutes for each period in real time. Just set it to 5 minutes. One bad design, when you go for a wrist shot or slap shot, you gotta tap the button and let the player go through his animation of shooting the puck to actually take the shot. If you just tap and tap it again impatiently, your player will do a fake shot. But something I find remarkable is while your player's going through that animation, you can aim with the D-pad. And as far as I can tell, there is no fighting in this game, which is unforgivable. Every hockey game has to have fighting in it. Hockey is a sport. Fighting has been in the sport of hockey since the inception. Played with raw emotion and aggression. For the sole reason if some asshole on the other team is being a complete shit-talker, you can let him know how you feel. I want to highlight this guy.
It's important to keep fresh legs on the ice, especially near the end of the game, if you're defending a lead. Keep track of how long each player has been on the ice, and don't waste your timeouts on something stupid like, who's going to order the pizza after the game?
This happens in every first intermission. But you know, the gameplay could be better. Everyone is able to knock everyone down. Shooting can be more intuitive. Passing for the one-timer is not at all precise as I want it to be. So how did PlayStation fare with their first hockey game? For a 32-bit system. That opening intro is so freaking bad. I guess they wanted to show off Sony's very cutting-edge 3D technology. Just wait a minute? You are using a stock crowd cheering track for your menu music? This isn't too promising, but how is the gameplay? Surprisingly, it's pretty good. I can get into this. As far as I can tell, the only essential buttons are square, X, and circle. Square is to pass and switch players. X is for a wrist shot. Hold X for a slap shot, and circle to check players. But it also works as a speed burst. Just tap circle to see your guy go quicker. There doesn't seem to be a way to configure the controls to any other setting. I really don't care for this control scheme. It sucks. Early PlayStation games, so no early analog stick support. I like the 2D sprites a lot. Controls are responsive. It actually reminds me of the 16-bit EA hockey games on the Sega Genesis. But it doesn't share NHL 94's superb one-timer system. Overall, not a bad hockey game. But I still prefer NHL All-Star Hockey more. EA's first true 3D hockey game on home consoles would be NHL 97. And it's crap. This opening intro sequence sucks. I don't know why they fixate on that goalie helmet. Now the players on the ice control very unwieldy. It is very difficult to line up a good check. But to be fair, it is not complete crap. It does have fights. The buttons are where I want them to be. One-timers do okay. And finally, someone who knows how I like the camera set. And no analog stick support. What do you expect? It's made in 1996 after all. And to EA's credit, at least they are using 3D polygon models. And between periods, you get this guy.
Offenses are in high gear tonight, and we've seen a lot of great scoring chances. The fans have to...
He's no LeBlue.
Something smells real bad around here. Could it be the way you guys played defense in that period? I think so. I saw more holes in that blue line than on a piece of Swiss cheese.
Let's look at another one. NHL Powerplay 96. Made in 1996. So, published by Virgin Interactive and developed by Radical Entertainment. Now you see, this publisher didn't even bother to license some NHL footage of the year before to make a nice live-action intro sequence like EA and Sega. Now the gameplay, it is very competent. Although, it's very bland. It's generic. Doesn't have any personality. It doesn't do anything unique. But honestly, that's alright. It plays smooth. The frame rate is good. Players control well. The controls are where they should be. The camera has the right idea, and it has a speed burst button. The sound design is not overbearing, so I can easily put my own music and play it over the in-game audio. The body checking can be a little clunky, but that's forgivable. The 3D player models are low detail, so not to slow down the frame rate, and keep a rather large ice rink, so it's not so crowded on the ice, which will allow for more strategy. It might feel slow, but that's so you can do stuff like this. And one-timers feel good. I'm gonna say I can see myself having some beers, playing this with friends, and having a good time. 1996, the Nintendo 64 is finally released. And its first hockey game is Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey. I played it once. It's very arcade-like, but I don't know about that N64 controller. Good frame rate though, but it's not a legitimate hockey game being only 3-on-3. Now let's jump to 1997. EA means to make some big changes because NHL 97 is unacceptable. It was the weakest of the games of 1995 and 96. NHL 98 would try to destroy the competition.
Are you willing to donate your body. Got a problem with authority? Would you stop a speeding bullet? Are you afraid of the masked man?
We are looking at the Sega Saturn version. I like that opening intro. It isn't your generic, fast-paced hard rock reel. Everything is top-notch, but what kills it is the frame rate. It is so choppy. I don't know if it's just the Sega Saturn version, but yeah, that frame rate is hot garbage. Okay, how does my champion from yesteryear do this year? NHL Powerplay 98, made in 1997. Yeah, Radical Entertainment means business this time. The CPU AI is very sharp. There's a lot more detail with the ice rink. More sound effects mixed in. The people in the arena have 3 frames of animation. The 3D models have a higher polygon count. The camera has the right idea. The control scheme is great. Still no analog DualShock controller support. Unfortunately, that frame rate is choppy. Not as bad as NHL 98. Sadly, this is the last hockey game in the Powerplay series. But there was a new NHL game from a different developer that came out in 1997. NHL Breakaway 98. Developed by Sculpture Software and published by Acclaim. It was also released for the Nintendo 64. Unfortunately, no opening full motion video for the Nintendo 64 fanboy. So on the PlayStation 1 it has a decent frame rate. Definitely better than Radical and EA. The rink is smaller. You can check people through glass. The one-timer works great. It would be the best hockey game of 1997, in my opinion. It has the makings of a great game, but it's not quite there. It has the right ideas, but it doesn't take them to the extreme. Now, Midway would put out another hockey game, Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey 98. Same deal as before. Nothing remarkable. I don't care for it. Sega Sports would put out the final hockey game on the Sega Saturn, NHL All-Star Hockey 98. It has a smooth frame rate, full 3D polygon models. I can potentially have fun with it. Its only issue is, it lost all its flash and flare from the previous game. What happened, happened. I shouldn't feel bad. Sega Sports will go on to make NHL 2K for the Sega Dreamcast, a game that still holds up today. Is just Sony and Nintendo. The Saturn is discontinued. EA puts out NHL 99 for the Nintendo 64 and PlayStation. They finally cracked the winning formula. And I'm well aware that Sony's NHL Face-Off series has been doing a yearly release since 1995, much like EA has always done. And Acclaim's NHL Breakaway series released only for the Nintendo 64, and it lost its venom, sacrificing its speed and attitude for a more consistent frame rate, and in turn, lost its edge. Okay, I'm Dark Mortis for the Mid-Level Boss channel. Thanks for watching.